Hi there, guys. It is Wednesday, the 20th of June, 2018, and I'm currently in Southfield in New York. I'm taking a zero to rest my poor feet, and I'm staying at a place called the Tuxedo Motel. Anyway, I wanted to share with you an incident that occurred to me, a very unpleasant incident, and I was, not too pleased about it. Basically, I had my food bag stolen. Yes, somebody stole my food. What a low down, dirty, despicable, and nasty thing to do to another human being. Anyway, I'll just backtrack and tell you the story. It was Saturday, the 9th of June, and I was camping 1.5 miles outside of the Mohican Outdoor Centre. And so I didn't want to sort of pay for a campsite at the site, so I sort of trekked on 1.5 miles north, and another couple were tented by me, and they were lovely. We had a good conversation and everything, and so I hung my food bag, my bear bag, up, and they hung their food bag slightly. Oh, there's a big insect. Slightly into the sort of the forest, so not so close to the trail. And my trail was quite close to the trail, and it was a big, heavy bag because, yeah, I like my food, and so my bag's always heavy. Anyway, I hung it up, and then in the morning, came to the spot, and the spot was clean. No sign of any broken branches or any sign of disruption, and my food bag had gone. Yeah, I was just thinking, what a dirty scumbag. How can you do that to somebody, steal somebody's food? And so, yeah, definitely wasn't a bear or an animal. There was no trace of any kind of scuffle or anything like that. So it was definitely a human. And so I'd made it quite easy for my bag to be stolen at night because I put on some reflective strips, which were really good. You know, once you shine your torch on the bag, the two strips are illuminated so you can see the bag quite easily. And looking back on it, if you are a thief out to look for an opportunist find, yeah, then that's just, you've hit the jackpot. And so, yeah, the bag was gone. And I'd been out on the trail for 6 weeks, and I'd had my highs and my lows, but that was the first time that I actually cried. I was just so, I was hurt for one thing, and I was really angry. Yeah, when I get angry like that and frustrated, I just think I'm either going to punch someone or I'm just going to burst into tears. And so, yeah, I shed a tear thinking, how could you do such a horrible thing? And part of me was like wishing that it was a desperate mother with 10 children she had to feed. But I thought, if you were a desperate woman or a man trying to feed your family, why take the entire bear bag kit? Why take the 50 foot of cord and the carabiners? Why just not go for the food that you want? And so that's why it made me think that it was a calculated and planned, somebody knew exactly what they wanted. And so, yeah, I left, and I alerted the couple, and luckily she was really sweet. They were both really sweet, really concerned, and so she gave me a Cliff Bar because I had zero food. I had no food at all, and I'd just resupplied in town, and so I bought some lovely things, and so that was a big weighty food bag that somebody had got away with. And so I thought, oh great, what am I going to do now? And so part of me said, should I go back 1.5 miles to the Mohican Centre, or should I just carry on, towards town? And so I carried on towards town. Oh God, I'm being eaten alive by these bugs. And I was seeing people as I was coming, and people both north and southbound. And I just wanted to alert people just to be on their guard, not to hang their food bag because it could get stolen. And so everybody who I was telling, let me walk and talk, they were so concerned and so nice, and they were offering me food. And so I got, snacks and food for the day. So that entire day and the next morning, I had enough food, and I was just so blown away by people's concern and their generosity. And also, yeah, just the human spirit, to help people in need. And so I ended up getting enough food for that day. But back to the act of the theft. Yeah, if you are out here hiking, just be vigilant and just have your eyes on your gear and don't always assume that. Well, just always be vigilant, basically, because a thief is an opportunist and can look like anybody, and so don't always assume that everybody, just because they may look like a hiker, it could be anybody who took that bag, and so I'm still none the wiser. And so yeah, theft does occur on the AT. It's not all unicorns and rainbows, and so be on your guard out here. But the flip side of that is that there are some lovely, genuine people who do care and people do look out for you. And another thing that happened also that made me be on my guard about my gear was that I was at a lookout point. I couldn't remember which one it was, but I couldn't be bothered to carry my pack all the way up there. So I took it off and just sort of laid it down. And I passed a family, and like mother, father, and child. And as I passed, I sort of acknowledged and greeted the dad. And so I went up to look to the lookout point. I was looking around for sort of like a few minutes. And then I could notice that when I looked back, I could see the little boy was like just like staring at me, just looking at me. And when I came down to my pack, I realized that one of my zips was open. And I'm really careful with my pack, and I made sure that all my zips are closed before I leave my bag anywhere, and just before I set off anywhere. And so I thought, had somebody been trying to rummage in my stuff, while I was up there? And so that just made me wary in terms of not leaving my pack or any gear unattended, unless you're amongst familiar people. And so yeah, that's my story of like getting my food bag stolen. Yeah, dirty, despicable thing, and it set me back about $100 because silly me. Well, not so silly. I didn't know at the time, but I bought the Z-Packs bear bagging kit, something dollars, and also I spent a lot of money on food, and so I had to yeah, replace all that. But one thing I would like to share with you is that actually I've got a new bear bag kit, and it cost me about $10. I got a laundry bag, and I've got some rope, and I've got a carabiner, and it does the same thing. And yeah, I'm just not going to stress myself about it. All right, that's enough ranting and raving for me. And so yeah, be careful. Just look after your stuff, and yeah, help people out, because you never know. Some people do have genuine stories behind, why they're asking you for help, and other people could just be scamming you. So yeah. Okay, speak to you soon. Bye.